A call to action for the dangers of marijuana. This is Aiden Ruiz. When referring to marijuana, one should think of the dried leaves, flowers, stems, and seeds from the cannabis sativa or the cannabis indica plant. The plant so it has the mind-altering chemical THC and other chemical compounds. The cannabis plant can also make extracts like hash oil or honey oil, wax or butter, and shatter, which can be described as hard to the touch and amber-colored. Marijuana is the most commonly used psychotropic drug in the US, with alcohol ranking second. Marijuana is the most popular among the youth and young adults. According to SAMHSA 2019, more than 11.8 million young adults used marijuana in the past year. Rates of past year marijuana use among students in middle school and high school have remained consistently steady, although the number of teenagers in the 8th and 10th grades that use marijuana has increased. As trendy vaping devices continue to become advertised, teenagers have started vaping THC. Approximately 4% of 12th graders admitted to being regular THC vape users. Also, there are a decreasing number of younger people who believe that consistent marijuana use is risky. Some short-term effects are: once a person takes a hit of marijuana, THC makes its way from the lungs to the bloodstream. The blood transports the THC to the brain and other organs of the body. If the person drinks THC-infused beverages or consumes edibles, the body will take more time to absorb the chemical. Other short-term effects can range from altered sense of time, mood swings, difficulty with thought processes and problem solving, impaired memory, and so forth. Other short-term mental effects can be temporary hallucinations and paranoia. Now some long-term effects. When marijuana is used during early teen years, the drug can possibly disturb thinking, memory, and learning functions and affect how the brain develops connections between the areas necessary for these functions. A New Zealand study found that individuals that started smoking in their teens and were addicted to marijuana lost an average of 8 IQ points between the ages 10 and 38. Studies in rats also show that adolescent exposure to THC is associated with an altered reward system, increasing the likelihood that an animal will self-administer other drugs like heroin when given an opportunity. Now some risks. THC in marijuana has been seen in marijuana at higher rates over the past few decades. This can be dangerous for someone that tries marijuana for the first time, as they may experience an overwhelming reaction. These higher THC levels explain why there is a rise of emergency room visits relating to marijuana usage. The greater presence of THC means that people are at an increased risk of acquiring an addiction if marijuana is used regularly. Now, consequences. Marijuana smoke irritates and inflames the lungs. Marijuana smokers can experience the same lung and breathing problems as heavy tobacco smokers. These problems range from a persistent cough, phlegm, constant lung illness, and increased risk of lung infections. Increased heart rate. Marijuana can raise your heart rate for up to 3 hours after initially smoking. This may increase the likelihood of a heart attack. Issues with child development during and after pregnancy. One study found that 20% of women ages 24 years old or younger were screened positive for marijuana. Marijuana used during pregnancy is linked to lower birth rate and increased risk of both brain and behavioral problems in babies and children. Regular marijuana can also lead to onset of cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, which causes people to experience regular cycles of severe nausea, vomiting, and dehydration that may require a visit to the emergency room. Thank you for tuning in, you guys. And here are some resources. If you scan either of the two QR codes, it'll take you to the SAMHSA's official website where you can find more interesting information. Thank you.